Hello everyone. Today I like to discuss some of my learning about which I have come across when I was testing microservices and some observations. So let's begin. So. Let's start with what small discussion on what is microservices. So microservices architecture actually give us the access to develop loosely coupled independent and highly maintainable services, and each service can be deployed independently. When we are talking about services are independent, then how they are actually talking or communication with each other. So each service uh, uh, expose some apis, and those apis will be uh, consumed by the consumer service, and extract the data and process those data. So when we are talking about data, so uh, definitely the consumer service will need some form of data or predefined data to structure their service. So that form of data actually called as a contract between two services, producer and consumer. So these contract actually the format data format which is expected by the consumer from the producer service. So today I want to highlight some point which was helpul for me, which is focusing on contract document, which was helpful for me while I was doing some microservice testing. So there are some points I want to highlight, which I have observed that like should be taken on observation when we create a service contract document. First of all, service description. So always the contract document should consist of service description, so that the person who is referring the document should know what is that service is about and what is that feature. So it is easy to use that service. And second is service api. So all service contract document should consist all the apis which is that particular service actually exposing, and all the operational specifications like status codes, what is the return type, what kind of values they each attributes they it is actually returning in the response. And fourth and fifth point was the major point which I observed during testing. It's live documentation and document versioning. So when I'm talking about the live documentation, what is exactly that? Then let's take an example that we have designed one document, and we have given all the references person who is actually using that contract to design their services or test for testing purpose. Now there are some changes happen in the requirement, and producer of the service actually has changed something, but not actually provided the changed version to everyone. Then what will happen? There will be some gap in the requirement. So that's why all the contract documents should be live, so that each and every person who is using that document should get updated document every time. Second, last one is document versioning, which is comes into the picture when we need to track the changes, and to understand the each change impact, that what is impact, what the new changes has come, and when it comes, and what changes has happened. So suppose there are, let's take an example, there is one api which is returning three attributes. Now in the there are changes happen in the requirement, and we decided like, no, we want to send some more data. So in the next version there will be might be six attributes. So each if we have version document, so we can check the previous version, and then we will get to know that in the next version what service, consumer service, what needs to be changed. So it is very easy to understand. So now let's come on the topic about the testing, that how exactly the contract document impact on testing, and how we can save time by using the contract document or design proper contract document. So first of all, is first basic thing is requirement versus implementation. So contract document exactly a blueprint of the service, what exactly is designed. So while giving a one look of a contract, we can understand what is actually implemented, and we can compare with the requirement. And if a requirement is not fulfilled by the contract itself, we can discuss over that, and we can say that like the requirement is not fulfilled by the service, and we can immediately change that service itself. So at the early state, if we will design the contract, so it will be useful for the testing, so that the early stage we will get to know the requirement and implementation, we can compare it. Second is detailed overview of service. So instead of discussing and going to developer or PMs to discuss the about the service or the feature, if we will get the detailed contract document, we can understand by description itself that what is the service is about, what is the prerequisite to use that service, and how what are the limitations of that service, or what data actually that service is sending. So each and everything can be checked by the contract itself. So it is very helpful for testing itself, that we will get all the data which going to be we need to test. Third, but definitely the most important point which I came across, is the automation. So whenever we talk about the testing, we always think, because we don't have anything on hand to start automation at the early stage. So if we have the contract document which actually developed before the development start, we can refer that contract document to start our automation framework, or understand the automation scope for that service specific. So that is very useful when we talk about automation. Second is impact analysis. Last one is impact analysis. So impact analysis is comes into the picture when we have done some changes in one feature, and we want to understand that what is the testing scope for that. So there is a possibility that the changes happened in one feature can impact the other feature as well. So how we will get to know about that? Then document versioning actually comes actually very helpful to understand that across the different version what actually changes are happened. And by updated document, we can understand, okay, the previous version there are some value was 1, and the latest one value is 2. Now we can refer all the contract document and understand what other services actually are getting impacted. So by using this contract document and versioning, we can preserve the production issues, and we can understand the testing scope, that what services has to be retest. So for automation purpose and impact analysis, these 2 points I want to give one demo, that how actually I have done automation and contract automation specifically. Because in my experience, uh, I have 50% time I have spent on the contract testing. So how, if we have the proper document contract document, how it can be used for automation, and we can easily save that 50% time on manual testing. So let me okay. So in this example, I have taken swagger swagger contract, which and sample swagger JSON, where schema has been defined of one or particular API which I'm going to use. And I'm using a Barbado core library, Python library, which actually have the methods uh, to to validate the scheme, validate the input JSON with the schema which is defined. So in this API, it accepts the two inputs. One is the schema, Swagger schema or JSON in JSON format, and second is your input, which we are getting from the API. So here I have created some test data where we are actually checking the data type, JSON parser exceptions, and like enum values, and mandatory field validation. So if we'll let's take first look of second one, where job type is actually is a enum value and string, where we are passing integer value, and here we are expecting that we should get a data type error. And the third, in the third one, we are giving a string value, but it is a enum actually. The data type is enum. So then even we are sending the daily string, but it is in a small case, then it should get the exception. Here we are not even sending the job type attribute at all. That means if it is a mandatory, then we should get the null pointer exception. So let's run this one. Yeah. So so if you see the logs, so here I got one is not a type of string. That means we got the type exception here. And second one is for enum, that daily is not one of the here it is printed that what value actually defined in a schema for enum. So these kind of uh, test scenarios or test cases, contract validation, we can easily do uh, uh, by this repository. And for prerequisite for this is like defined schema, proper defined schema, that is actually part of contract. So that's why, like, if we have the proper design contract, we can easily utilize it for the automation purpose, for testing purpose, and we can increase the quality version and speed up the testing process. So I hope this not this my experience and observation will help you in testing your testing. So thank you so much for giving your time. Thank you.